my live weekly post. I do a live kind of weekly update. I'm kind of organizing my notes. Sorry, guys. A topic that you guys want to hear about, I think is important. Sorry, my notes are falling all over the place. But I wanted to talk to you guys today about this nutrient. I'm just going to put this down because it's not working for me. Live TV. Live Facebook, whatever it's called. So I want to talk to you guys about these phytochemicals. So this is a really interesting topic. So I really want you to pay attention here because this is something that can really change your health if you listen up. So a lot of people talk about antioxidants. They're talking about all these things with fruit and vegetables. Hey, you guys, that's awesome. But what we really want to break down is why. Okay, why this is so important. And we talked about last week the hormetic response when it came to like environmental hormetic responses. We talked about infrared heat. We talked about saunas. We talked about cryotherapy. We talked about all these different things. Hi, Isidro. And when you guys are here, let me know you're here. Hop on, say hi, tell me where you're coming from, and that you're excited about this topic. So I'm going to talk to you guys about the top 5 things that you really need to be eating to kind of activate this nutritional-based hormetic response. So my friend Marla really wanted to hear about this. A few of you guys also reached out to me and said, hey, I want to hear more about this hormetic response thing. So a hormetic response is when your body actually has to adapt to a stressor. And when it adapts to that stressor, it actually gets stronger, right? And it gets more resilient, which protects against disease, okay? So what we're going to talk about today are phytochemicals that are found in foods. And a lot of you have probably heard that terminology before. Phytochemicals, okay? Well, phytochemicals are really this interesting compound. And the whole original concept with phytochemicals that are in our foods or our plants are they basically act as an like a chemical to dissuade insects from eating them, right? So phytochemicals in these plants actually acted as a toxin so that insects wouldn't eat the actual plant, the berry, the bean, the wheat germ, whatever that looked like. And it was almost like a protection mechanism, okay? So what happens is when us humans eat and ingest subtoxic amounts, so small amounts, of this actual phytochemical in the fruits and vegetables and plants, what happens is it activates a different cellular pathway. And this cellular pathway actually turns on the molecules and our molecular system to actually create the antioxidant effect in our body. So when we're talking about phytochemicals, the reaction chain of the phytochemicals releases this antioxidant enzyme into our system. And the antioxidant enzyme is actually what is healthful for us. So that's why you hear, have your antioxidants, right? Eat your fruit and vegetables, have the antioxidants. That's what that means. So really the antioxidants come from the pathway of the phytochemicals transferring over and having that molecular shift and cellular shift inside of our body. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty amazing is what it is. So these phytochemicals are found in lots of fruit and vegetables, and we can call that a hormetic response because our body is actually taking something that typically is actually toxic, right, and turning it into something that's good for us because of the hormetic response to that actual toxin that's coming into our body. Does that make sense? Is that landing with you guys? Okay, I really think that's important for you to understand because what we put into our body, it's actually the response to the food that creates the positive effect in our body. So it's not always the food itself, it's about the reaction at a cellular level to what happens and how our body responds that creates the health effect. So what that does is it makes our body more resilient. It gets us stronger. So just like when we're putting stress from exercise or even cryotherapy or a cold shower, it makes us more resilient, right? It makes our body more resilient. So that is what phytochemicals do and how they convert into the antioxidants. So I want to talk to you guys about a few different things with those phytochemicals, how it translates into the antioxidants that we need in order to be stronger and more resilient. So there's a few different types I want to talk to you guys about today, and the foods that are really rich in those phytochemicals, which translate into the antioxidants that we need, okay? So the first thing we want to talk about is the anthocyanins or the polyphenols or flavonoids. So that's like one little category of antioxidants. And in that kind of category of antioxidants is going to be a host of things that can help your body combat like chronic illness, cancer, inflammation, cardiovascular issues, even Alzheimer's and dementia. That's phenomenal. So it's our bodies working on toxins and creating the pathways that make them non-toxic to make them stronger to combat these chronic illnesses. How cool is that? So cool. Okay, so in that first category of the first type of antioxidants I talked about, what I want to share with you is it's kind of thinking about it as polyphenols, and with the P, you think of it as purple. So polyphenols are things that are purplish in color, right? So when we talk about being the rainbow, this is why this is so important. Because if you can believe it, in some of those seeds in the blackberries, right, and some of those seeds in the raspberries, there's these things called lignans. And those are this outer covering shell that is full of phytochemicals. So it's an actual dissuasion for insects to eat them, right? So within those, like those raspberries and blackberries, some of those lignans are really actually beneficial because it allows it to come into our body. Same thing with flax seeds or any kind of seed. It comes into our body and our body has to break it down. The reaction to it breaking it down creates the antioxidant effect, which is pretty cool. Okay, so when you're thinking about those polyphenols, you want to think about red cabbage. You want to think about blueberries. You want to think about blackberries. You want to think about things that are purplish in color. Hi, Gloria. Hi, Stephanie. Good morning. Hi, Kelly. Thanks for being here, you guys. So that's one section of that polyphenol is, the purple thing. So when you think about P, you think about purple, right? So really, really powerful antioxidant. And it's because of the reaction to the phytochemicals in that particular vegetable or fruit. So if you're looking at a purple polyphenol, two of the highest kind of antioxidant rich in that category are your blueberries. If you can eat one fruit, it's going to be a blueberry. It's one of the most dense phytonutrient or phytochemical antioxidants out there is a blueberry. The next thing is going to be purple cabbage. So purple cabbage has like two really powerful components. It's got, the component of being a cabbage or a cruciferous vegetable, which is incredible for our thyroid and our, detoxing our liver, but it's also purple, so it has those polyphenols. So it's a great food. So if you're looking at the category of the anthocyanins or the polyphenols, flavonoids, you're going to look for purple cabbage and you're going to look for blueberries. Two of the highest, most powerful purple foods out there, okay? An antioxidant rating. So the other thing you want to look for, I'm going to go through a few different levels of these antioxidants. The next one is going to be your carotenoids, and those are the yellow or orange colored vegetables or fruits, okay? So if you're looking for a really high-powered yellow vegetable or fruit, what you want to stick with is your citrus, but you also want to go to your red, yellow, or orange bell pepper. Tons of great antioxidants in that food. So in that yellow category, that's one of them there. The other thing I want to share with you guys is, hi Mary, good morning. So the thing I want to share with you guys is in that category, there's one of the biggest superfoods on the planet. And what the most important thing for you to remember is in that category of carotenoids, there's also something called an adaptogen, which is an herbal supplement or herbal thing from nature that's very healing. And in that category, we're going to talk about curcumin or turmeric. You guys, if you're not putting that into your diet, you are really missing out on a huge opportunity to improve your health. So that carotenoid, that adaptogen, curcumin, or what's called turmeric a lot, when combined with black pepper, it is one of the most powerful because it helps absorption. When combined with black pepper, one of the most powerful antioxidants and things you can do for your body. It's super anti-inflammatory, like one of the most anti-inflammatory things you can actually ingest. And if you're not getting it in your diet, look for an antioxidant supplement that has it. I actually take one that's phenomenal. And so I take an antioxidant supplement along with my multivitamin that has the curcumin in it. So, because I don't always love the taste of turmeric, it's very bitter, it's very powerful, it's very sharp in flavor, and it's just not something that I love that much. Now, I can tone it down with some golden milk if I've got some other herbs and spices in it. And so Mary's asking, what did you say, Mary? You said, which one do you suggest? So I use a product personally. It's an antioxidant, and I use a product called Modere, and I can definitely share that with you guys if you want information on it. But it's got all of those antioxidants in it, so it's kind of putting all of those fruits and vegetables in one product, which I take especially when I'm traveling, if I'm not getting all the variety in that I need. Okay, so that's a number 2 in our antioxidant list. The next one is your betalains. So betalains are, you can think of that as like, I always say betalains and beet. It's like how I relate it, right? So betalains are phenomenal for cardiovascular health, for cleaning out your blood, for keeping your kidneys clear. So you really want to make sure that if you're not a beet fan, you can do root in it, right? So beetroot powder, right? You can have beets, but if you're not a huge fan of actual beets, making sure you're getting an antioxidant from an actual food source is key. So that's why I like this other product too, is because that Modera product has the actual antioxidants in it from an actual food source. It's not synthetic, which you want to be really careful of, you guys. A lot of these things on the market are synthetic, and we want to get these adaptogens, these antioxidants, these phytochemicals from food-based product if we're not actually ingesting them, okay? So the betalain, however you want to say it, is, I think of it as a beet. So if you're not getting beets in your life, find a product with beet juice in it or beet juice root extract in it so it doesn't spike your insulin all too much. And if you need a recommendation from recommendation as well. Let's move on. I want to talk to you about a few other adaptogens that are extremely important for these antioxidant properties. So the first one I want to talk about is Shavarti root. Bacoba is another one, and some lion's mane. So those are herbal adaptogens. Herbal adaptogens. That means they are actual herbs from the earth that allow our body to adapt to stresses and improve to be more resilient. Is that landing? You guys aren't talking to me on Facebook. You're saying hi, but I don't see any more with you. Thank you, Mary. So let me know that that's landing with you. So adaptogens are from herbs. The herbs come into our body and it allows our body to adapt to environmental stresses and be more resilient. That's brilliant, you guys. Food is fuel and it is healing, okay? And the herbs and adaptogens we can find in nature will do that for us. So Shavarti, Bacoba, another one great for anti-inflammation properties in your body along with that curcumin. There is another product I recommend that has that in it that I take every single day, especially after a workout for anti-inflammation. The other thing is lion's mane. This is mushroom, you guys. Lion's mane is an actual mushroom. So it's coming from that fungi. Fungi has bacterial properties in it as well. I know I'm giving a lot of information, but I'm just trying to share with you so this can improve your health span, right? Just your life, your health span. So lion's mane is from that fungi. One of the most powerful forms of that mushroom fungi kind of group is lion's mane. So you can get that in teas, you can get that in a powder form. I take a powder form of lion's mane also in my smoothies. So there are all these things you can do to really improve your health before you get sick, before chronic disease happens. Like, we want to be preventative, and food and nutrition is the way to do that, okay? It all matters, you guys. It all matters. We have to start thinking about this from a 30,000 foot view. It's not just, it's not just this kind of micro version of what we're eating. It's a very macro, 30,000 foot view, and we have to be really cognizant of that, okay? All right, so next thing I want to talk to you guys about are two things that can improve our brain health. Okay, so brain cognition and mental focus for me is like one of the most important things in my life. I used to suffer from huge brain fog when I was over-exercising, when I was overtraining, when I was in that obsessive cycle. You guys know my story, a lot of you do. And brain fog was huge because I didn't have the proper nutrition to fuel my brain, right? I was starving it basically. And there are things we can do for more mental cognition and focus. So there are foods and adaptogens that can go into our body that are completely natural that will actually act as a nootropic. A nootropic is a mental adaptogen or something that goes into your body like acetylcholine, things like this that can go into your actual body and your system to shift the way your brain and your neurotransmitters fire. It's insane what they're coming out with now. Science is amazing. So what we want to think about is, in order for our brains to be really healthy, right, we need a lot of acetylcholine, number one. The way that we get acetylcholine is from some foods, and there are some things like some different roots and some different adaptogens and herbs that can actually turn on those transmitters for us. So there's a few I want to go through. The first one is plumogen. So plumogen is this compound that's found in black walnuts. Isn't that cool? So plumogen is this thing that's found in black walnuts. And black walnuts have this compound called plumogen, and it can actually decrease your tendency towards stroke. So if you have stroke in your family or any brain health issues in your family or in your genealogy, then you really want to make sure that you're taking good care of your brain. The way to do that is through a lot of different foods, but one way to start is black walnuts, which have that plumogen in it, which can actually create that hormetic response that we talked about earlier, because it's a phytochemical, and that phytochemical turns on the receptors and the cellular pathway to turn on the antioxidants, to turn on that part of the brain that has the receptor site to take in that plumogen and actually turn it into something like acetylcholine, and that's something that's good for you, that can actually make your brain flip on. It's powerful. I know it's a lot of science here today, but black walnuts, remember that. The other thing you want to think about is I think it's called, I have a problem pronouncing it. It's galantamine. Galantamine. I'm not a scientist, right? So bear with me. Galantamine, hi Katie. So galantamine is really awesome. So galantamine comes from, it's an actual extract found in flowers naturally, but it is actually also processed in synthetic form for Alzheimer's patients and people with dementia and Parkinson's for nervous system issues. So if that runs in your family, you really want to start beginning galantamine. I have it written down. Galantamine. It's actually something that's in some flower compounds like lily and daffodil. And you can actually get the raw form of it broken down into a pill form, right, from that actual natural source, galantamine, from the lily and some there's other flower extracts that have it, but also daffodil. They break it down into a pill form and you take that. There's a synthetic version that they give to actual Alzheimer's patients that the pharmaceutical companies manufacture, which is not as powerful, in my opinion, because it doesn't turn on the receptor sites as often as something like the natural form will. It's just my personal opinion after the research that I've done. So galantamine, so you can get that in lots of different forms, okay? So galantamine is a huge thing. Hi, Brione, I'm so happy to see you here. I love you. Mwah. So that's something that you want to talk about. So we talked about acetylcholine, we talked about galantamine, we talked about plumogen. So now let's talk, last thing I want to talk about, and then I'll regroup kind of those top 5 foods I want you to be thinking about for nervous system, cardiovascular, anti-cancer, anti-tumor, and brain health. And then you can have that list and make sure that you're getting that daily. And if you're not getting it into your diet, I can give you some supplements or whole food supplements that you can take to get that in, okay? So last thing, I want to talk to you guys about this thing called food allergies. So this is huge in our culture right now. And it's because we've been very dogmatic in our approach to nutrition. Did you hear what I said? In my opinion, a lot of the food allergies are because we've become very, very dogmatic in our approach to nutrition. You guys, there is not one right way for everyone. That is why when I work with my clients, we look at your genealogy, we look at your blood work. We understand your actual system because one way is not best for everyone. Uniform recommendations equal uniformly bad results. Everybody get that? Okay, so brain health, Brione, hit me up. I've got something for you. Next thing I want to share with you guys is, Brione, plumogen, galantamine, and then nootropics. I've got something for you, so message me after this. So listen, let's talk about lignans and lecithins. So these are 2 foods that people have really sworn off in our culture because everyone's afraid of wheat and everyone's afraid of beans because they have these 2 things in them. And the paleo culture, the keto culture has told us that they're completely bad for you. And then when people eliminate them from their diet and they creep back in somehow when they're not expecting it, you have an amazingly horrific allergic reaction at times. You guys, I never eliminate foods. The reason why is because there is a hormetic response to some of these foods in our body. If we do not continually create resilience to some of these foods that have a little bit of toxins in them, we cannot become adaptive. That is called a hormetic stress. Hormetic stress is responsible for our wellness. So when you see people that have these horrific reactions, even people with celiacs have been cured by small doses of hormetic stressors with nutrition, I'm telling you. So if you're thinking about your nutrition and you're like, I'm never ever eating gluten again, I'm never ever eating beans again because it has lecithins or it has lignans or all these things in it. You guys, rethink that. So these tiny doses every once in a while will trigger that hormetic response so that you don't have that horrific allergic reaction, and instead your body becomes more resilient and adaptive to the hormetic response, which makes us healthier overall. Hi, Nina. How are you, babe? Does that land with you guys? So for me, I never say I never eat something. So yes, gluten is not great in copious amounts. It is wonderful for you in non-toxic amounts, meaning teeny tiny amounts. Now I'm going to definitely make people mad by saying this. I really don't care. It's what I think. Teeny tiny amounts of gluten every once in a while causes a small amount of a hormetic response, which increases your health span because your body becomes adaptive to that stressor and can become more resilient. Is that landing? So if you're saying, for example, I'm never eating eggs again, I'm never eating this again, I'm never eating that again, totally wrong, you guys. Don't be so dogmatic. Listen, you're going to do your body a better favor by allowing it small portions once in a while to gain that resilience, because you don't want to all of a sudden, go and do these elimination diets for months and months and months, and then all of a sudden you have a teeny tiny bit of gluten and your body flips out. Right? And you have this huge allergic reaction. You're sick for days. If you teach your body, just like with exercise, right? Time under tension, slow progression, little bits of stress, your body gets stronger. Same thing with your gut health. Same thing with your health span and your health and your immune response. Same thing. Hormetic responses are intended to make you more resilient. That's what human beings do. Our bodies are brilliant. But you can't steal all of those hormetic responses from it. You've got to give them in small doses, non-toxic doses. So it's not good for you to go jump in Lake Michigan in the middle of winter for an hour, but it is good for you to go do a cold plunge for 30 seconds. Is that landing? It's not good for you to eat a whole bowl of pasta every night, but every month, if you eat a little bit, that's good for you. It's good for you. It's not going to harm you. What's bad for you is if you eliminate it completely, and then your body has to actually have this complete breakdown and allergic response to something because it's been totally eliminated from your diet. You guys, you have to start thinking 30,000 foot view. One size does not fit all for everyone. It does not happen. I'm glad that's staying with you. Thank you so much for sharing. I love your hearts. This makes me so happy. When you're thinking about you and your nutrition, do not go down that road of, oh, I'm only plant-based because they're saying it's this way. I'm only carnivore because they're saying it's this way. I'm gluten-free because they're saying it's this way. No, it's never going to serve you. You've got to figure out what works best for you, okay? So the way you do that to start is to get a really good guess is when I work with my clients, we get blood work, right? We look at your biomarkers because we're all bio individuals, you guys. Newsflash. None of us are the same. Not one of us, right? Our genomes are unique. So you eat for your particular biomarkers. You nourish yourself based on your own unique bioindividuality. You nourish yourself based on your genetic code, your ancestry, what works best for you. It's just science. It's just science. Hi, Jamie. It's just science. So when you stop looking at it as a universal, when you stop taking these uniform recommendations, you will stop getting uniformly bad results. And instead, you will get precision knowledge that will actually pull your body forward, make it more adaptive and resilient, which creates less stress, and it creates more resiliency. When your body's resilient, that equates to health. Is that landing? That equates to health. Your body's got to be resilient. When your body is not resilient or your immune system breaks down and you're sick all the time, that's not a healthy body. I'm hardly ever sick. Sorry, I'm just hardly ever sick. My daughter, hardly ever sick. And if it is, it's like once every 3 or 4 years. No joke, because I let her have bacteria. You guys, there's no bleach in my house. She gets bacteria. She plays in the dirt. She has since she was a little kid. Okay? So all of those things are important. Like our body needs some bacteria to learn how to fight it off. Our body needs a little bit of small doses of non-toxic things to get stronger and more resilient. Parents out there that are sanitizing every part of your body and your kids' bodies are not allowing them to have that natural state of resiliency. It's just part of what human beings do, right? Okay, so I hope that helped you guys this morning. I hope that was supportive for you. Please let me know. I'm going to give you some top 5 foods right now. So what I want to tell you right now is the things that we're putting in your body every day. Number 1, blueberries, polyphenols, right? Cruciferous vegetables. Number 2, so that looks like cauliflower, red cabbage. It looks like broccoli, cruciferous, all right? Now, carotenoids, That's going to be a yellow pepper. But my favorite flavonoid anti-inflammatory is curcumin or turmeric. Yellow, bright, beautiful adaptogen that's going to heal you from the inside out. Okay. Number 4, lion's mane. It's an herbal adaptogen. It's from a fungi. It's from mushroom. Beautiful for you. Absolutely amazing for you. Number 5, black walnuts. Okay, so that's that plumogen. That plumogen is that hormetic response chemical that comes into our body that helps our brain turn on those natural nootropics, acetylcholine. It starts to produce those things that keep our brains healthy, all right? So those are some, oh gosh, I think I need 6. I think I have to say beets. I don't know. 5 is too much. It's too hard for me to choose. So let's go with 6. I'm going to add in beets. You guys, beets for cardiovascular health is so important. That dark, deep, purplish beetroot, that red, deep color. If you're not into beets, get something with beetroot extract in it and take it daily. Lion's mane and turmeric, yes, Jamie, that money. It's like all healing right there. Take it every day. If you don't have a good supplement or something that you're not, if it's not whole foods that you can do all the time, you guys, get a good whole food supplement that will support you. And that's why I told you about the one that I take. So if you have questions on any of that, Brianne, get with me. I've got a product for you that will change your brain cognition like that. Tons of nootropics, no chemicals, and no sugar. I know you're on a big fitness kick right now too, Brianne, so let me know. I hope that helps and supports you guys. I'm sorry I talked so much today. I tried to keep this to 20 minutes, but this was a lot of science, a lot of content that I wanted to cover for you to support you. Listen, I'm here for you. This is what I do. I actually eat, sleep, and breathe it. You might have noticed. And I am diligent in my commitment to finding the best information out there for you guys. I don't expect you to go out and research it all the time, but I do. And I'm committed to continually educating myself in any way I can to make sure that I'm bringing you updated knowledge, updated science, so that you can be your healthiest self, right? That's what this is about. So we get to increase not only our lifespan, but our health span. And so for me, that is my passion. So listen, right now I'm looking for 3 people that really want to change their health span. Not only because they want to maybe lose weight or get in shape, but you want to actually increase your health span. Like you're done following this keto paleotarian diet. Like it's just crazy. You really want something that works for you long term, then you will learn the science, learn how to best support your body with biomarkers, with genealogy, with your genomes, with all of that, so that you can be your best self. I'm looking for 3 right now. And if you want to not only have your form follow function, this is the way to do it, inside out. So if that's you, you're a high-performing, driven person that wants to be sharp in life, sharp with their health, so they can take their life to the next level of impact, and you want to do that without the uniform recommendations, I'm your girl. Reach out to me. I'm looking for 3. So if that's you, let me know. But I'm not looking for just anybody. I want people that are committed irrevocably to their health, their weight loss, their fitness, like in a big way. That's what I do. So if you're ready for that, hit me up. Okay, Julia, you had a question. Can beets be pickled? Absolutely. Pickling is amazing probiotics. So anything that, Glorious, did you think I'm a scientist? I'm not a scientist. Well, this is the thing. Formal education is one thing, right? Mary says, Mary, let's go, girl. Let's do this. Mary's in. I need 2 more now. So this is the thing. If we always looked at formal education, we're looking at antiquated systems. Some of that stuff, right? Those antiquated systems that we're learning years ago from science, from the medical journals, it was 30 years ago they're teaching our kids, or teaching our young people to be educated in this field. And most medical doctors don't get any nutrition training at all. It's shocking to me. So look, I take it upon myself to deep dive every single day into something that's going to improve my ability to share with you and my information and my knowledge. And so if you guys have questions about things that you really want to know about and I don't know about them, hey, I'm all about going and looking it up for you, doing my own research, going to the sources that I trust, the medical journals that I read, and getting you that information. That's what I do. So if there's things you really want to know about that you don't want to research yourself, let me know. I'm happy to support you. But this is my jam. I love it. I'm obsessed with this. And I think you probably are getting that now. Yeah, Nina, it is true. It's sad. that. Nina is one of my partners in this business that I'm running. Also, she's incredible. She's partnered with me. She's amazing, but she's also an incredible fitness trainer in the Boise area, but she's taking her business online, and I'm so excited for you, Nina. You're incredible. So go, girl. We're on the same page. Hi, Olivier. So happy to see you. So let me know if you guys need information on the nootropics that I take, the curcumin supplement and turmeric supplement and the antioxidant supplement I take. I'm happy to hook you up. And then if you're one of the other 2 women that wants to jump on, or men, I train a lot of men. Men don't know that, but half of my clients are men. High-performing CEOs, entrepreneurs that are like ready to kill it in life, because you got to be on your game, right? Okay, so if that's you, reach out to me. I'm your girl, and I can support you. All right, let's go. Life is now, you guys. Life is now. Don't wait. Live it. Be your best. Don't phone it in. Let's go. Okay, happy Friday. Happy weekend. Oh, look, I have my Believe shirt on. Can you guys see this? I think you can see it on Instagram. I don't think you can see it on Facebook. Let me show you. Believer. One of my mentors, coaches, and powerful women that have pulled me forward is named Shanda Sumter, and she made this shirt, and I love it because I'm a believer. I'm a believer in you. Okay, love you guys. Thanks for being here. Thank you for letting me influence your mind. See ya.